to first show you, oh, thank you. First, I want to show you this website we have with this story. And this is what a lot of people are probably wondering about as you're getting ready to head out to the airport, head out on the roads, all those things. So AAA is predicting about 2.8 million Tennesseans are going to travel for Christmas and New Year's. And a lot of you probably wondering when are going to be the best and the very worst times to get out there. So if you find this article over on our website, wate.com, you're able to see all of this information. We're talking total travelers as well as people who are expected to drive versus are expected to fly. And if you can see here, most people here from our state will be hitting the roads. So a lot of people are going to be out on those roadways. In fact, AAA is predicting about 51,000 more people than last year will be driving out on those roadways. And if you scroll just a little bit further here on this page, we have this handy dandy chart for you, and it'll show you exactly the best and the worst times to head out on the roads if you're one of those 2.6 million people here in Tennessee who are planning to hit the roads. And this chart picks up right with tomorrow, Saturday, December 20th. Pretty wide window for you all here. About noon to 8 p.m. are going to be pretty congested on those roadways. So if you can wait, if you're able to drive at night when things are already dark, AAA says the best time if you're heading out tomorrow is going to be after 9 p.m. Sunday, December 21st, a little better. We're talking 1 to 7 p.m., and they are recommending getting out in the morning, so maybe before 11 o'clock if you're going to be making your way out. And that trend continues through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, with that 1 to 7 p.m. time being pretty congested out there. We get to Tuesday, December 23rd, and we'll touch more on this in more detail a lot later, but a lot of that road construction will be stopping after that day. But here's the thing, if you do have to head out on the roadways, either on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I've done this before and can speak for it firsthand, the roads are usually so clear. So it works well if you're, wrap up your activities late in the morning on Christmas and you have the afternoon. It's not a bad idea to get on the roadways then. After the Christmas holiday, though, kind of same story. You're going to want to get out on those roadways in the morning before 11 o'clock, anytime after Christmas and before New Year's. Same story here, though. Once you get to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, things are going to be looking pretty good out on the roadways. So you're going to want to be ready for that. Well, again, today is, it's a Friday. Traffic is usually already pretty busy all across our area. And here's just a quick look at how things are shaping up. A lot of yellow and reds throughout West Knoxville, which pretty much means, people are already hitting the roadways, whether that is just commuting to and from work, but things are a little bit busy out there. We'll get into all of this in more detail here very, very soon for you. But we do want to take a moment for those of you, thinking about holiday travel who are maybe wondering, what is the scene going to look like across the country? Well, we have some on-the-ground reporting for you from Chicago. Take a look.
If you're traveling between now and the new year, you are certainly not alone. More than 122 million Americans are expected to travel at least 50 miles outside of home for this holiday season. And according to AAA, this could be the busiest travel season on record. And today really kicks things off. Most of those travelers will be driving. AAA says nearly 9 in 10 holiday trips will be on the road, helped by lower gas prices, now $3 a gallon nationwide for the first time in 4 years. But in the skies, airlines are also bracing for record crowds. Airlines for America forecasts more than 52 million people will be flying during the holidays, about 3 million a day, with airlines adding 72,000 seats daily to keep up. And many more people are already on the move. The busiest travel days are expected to be today, this weekend, and then the days right after Christmas. But if you are traveling on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or New Year's Day, well, it could be less busy and also cheaper to travel. But where is the hottest destination for Americans? It is going to be those warmer weather places. Think Southern California and Florida. AAA booking data shows the hottest destinations are Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Los Angeles, and Hawaii. Internationally, many travelers are heading to Mexico and the Caribbean, including Cancun, Punta Cana, and Cozumel. Domestic airfares are up about 7%, averaging around $890. But the good news is for international travelers. Prices are down 14%, with tickets costing about $1,400 on average. Travel experts say that the key here is planning ahead, making sure that you have that built-in travel time. And here at the airport, it's expected to be busy up until January 5th. In Chicago, Mills Hayes.
And a lot of you might be wondering about our airport right here in Knoxville. We're looking right now at McGee Tyson Airport, where again, we just heard her mention that you're going to want to plan ahead. And one way you can do that is checking out the parking situation before you head out to the airport if you are one of those people who is expected to fly. So, what we're looking at right now, this is right on the front page of McGee Tyson's website. First thing you'll see, and they want you to see this parking capacity. It's going to break down each parking location so you can see exactly where is already filling up and where you will be able to find a spot a little more easily. So let's start and take a look here. The garage. A lot of people like to park. It's covered. The garage already 68% full. It is about a 2% increase from yesterday. I do expect this to continue filling up as we make our way closer to Christmas Eve. In fact, probably early next week, it'll get really full. Terminal A lot, only about 55%. So you should be able to find a lot of spots in the Terminal A lot if you're able to walk a little bit further. Terminal B, a little bit closer, and you can tell that by the numbers. 82% full already in that Terminal Lot B. So you're going to want to be ready for that. Economy Lot C, you shouldn't have too many problems finding a spot there. We're looking at just about 44% full. So in general, you'll be able to find spots in any of these parking lots right now. Let's take a look at the quick parking map real quick, just so you know. Right here's the terminal. Here's that Terminal Lot A, Terminal Lot B, and the garage. So really just what's best for you. If you're willing to save a little bit of money, you can park a little bit further and probably find a spot a little bit easier. But you're going to want to be ready for this if you are heading to McGee Tyson Airport. So those of you, though, who are staying locally, we do have a couple events we can tell you about if you're ready to get into that holiday spirit this weekend. So we have two Christmas parades we want to tell you about. These are planned for tomorrow. That is Saturday, December 20th. Dandridge Fire Department's annual Christmas parade. Let's go ahead and zoom in right here. See this red line? That is the route it will be taking. So the Dandridge Fire Department's annual Christmas parade, this is going to step off at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and it's all going to start at Maury Middle School. It'll then go down Dandridge on Highway 2570, turning onto Gay Street before finishing at the Town Hall. Line up for the parade, by the way, if you know anyone who's in there or if you want to get out there nice and early. That'll all start at 11 o'clock. And anyone, by the way, who wants to participate is welcome. So feel free to come enjoy or take part in the community there. But then we're going to head a little bit further west here and south. If we can find it again. There we go. Tellico Plains. Let's go ahead and zoom right in, get you a good view at what we are looking at here. So the Tellico Plains Christmas Parade, also tomorrow, Saturday, December 20th, and this one will start at 3 p.m., so a little bit later in the afternoon. This will begin in town, and then it'll go right onto Babcock Street, left onto Terrell Hollis Skyway, and right onto Bank Street. This will bend at the community center. So a couple fun, exciting things happening for you in the area this weekend. If you are not planning to be traveling or heading out quite yet, we have more of these posted on our website as well on WATE.com. And hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into all things gas prices and what you can expect if you are heading out. We'll also find you a couple of locations where those prices might just be a little bit cheaper. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. It is time to get into all things gas prices and all the excitement that comes along with that. So first, we're going to bring up this chart for you. The state average here in Tennessee is just about $2.50, not half bad. In Jackson, things are a little more expensive, $2.57. Then we go down the list to Nashville, looking at about $2.55. Here in Knoxville, we are just about 2 cents under that state average at $2.48. And then in Chattanooga, if you're heading down there for the holidays, things are looking good, $2.39 on average there. So let's go ahead and bring in our AAA map here. This is a nationwide look. The national average is just under $2.90. And again, so the darker blue color is going to be the cheaper. Follow this scale there all the way up to the dark red. That's going to be the most expensive. Again, Tennessee, right about $2.50 here for us. And let's take a look at some of those surrounding states. If you are driving up north into Kentucky, we are looking at about $2.58 on average. If you are heading east into North Carolina, a little more expensive. We're looking at about $2.68 on average. I know it's not a border state, but if you're heading maybe South Carolina coast, things pretty similar there as well, $2.57. Georgia, it's just south of us, a little more expensive, $2.76. Alabama, $2.60 on average. Mississippi looking right at about $2.52, very close to our average here, really quite the same. Arkansas, $2.46. Missouri, $2.53, and Illinois a little more expensive. Their average still sitting right around $3. So be ready for that if you're traveling regionally. If you're heading out further, maybe taking a really long road trip, you can dig into all of the details here. On this AAA map, you can click right in, which is what we're going to do with Tennessee right now. And you can get the county by county breakdown and see how things are really shaping up across the state. So we're going to start off with Knox County. Knox County sitting, again, we just talked about this with the Knoxville gas price, but about $2.48 on average. Things are not too bad. Anderson County, even cheaper than that, just about $2.40. Loudoun County, looking at about $2.48. Blount County, just under $2.50. Sevier County, sitting right at about $2.47. Jefferson County, $2.49. So again, you can find this AAA map and look at all those surrounding counties. If you're heading down to Chattanooga, things are looking pretty good there, $2.38 on average. But if you are going to be heading west, maybe toward the Nashville area, Davidson County, it wouldn't be a bad idea to gas up before you get out on the roadways. If you get a full tank, odds are you can make it there. Things are a little bit more expensive in that region, just about $2.60. And if you're heading all the way west, maybe in the Memphis area, or you're driving west out of the state, you're going to want to gas up before you get there. All of these western counties are looking a little more expensive. Shelby County sitting right at about $2.53 there. So let's go ahead and we're going to click into Knox County, and we can scroll down and we'll take a look at how all of these trends are shaping up. So again, here we are today, current average right about $2.50 for a regular gallon of gas here in Tennessee. Just a touchdown from yesterday. Yesterday's average was $2.52. Last week, a week ago, it was $2.59. A month ago, $2.67, and a year ago, about $2.72. So as you can see, this trend over time has been going down. And if you want to dig into these other gas types, we just ran through all of the regulars, but you can take a more specific look at what you specifically would like to get into. We'll scroll down and look at Knoxville for just a second. Same story here. Current average, $2.48. A year ago, it was at $2.60, so a little bit noticeably lower for us right now. And we have shown you this before, but we want to just remind you again, we have a gas tracker page for you right over on WATE.com. You can use this at pretty much any time. You're able to come on here. I believe it is powered by Gas Buddy, and you are able to find the cheapest rate for gas around you. These are all reported by people who have visited those locations. So again, these are just reported by people like you and me who decided to contribute. So let's see, if you are driving out in West Knoxville, let's find a good cheap one for you. Does that say $2.24? It sure does. This is the Casey's on Level Road right near I-40. Not a bad idea if you are either driving into Knox County or driving out. This would not be a bad place to stop. And this $2.24 was reported this morning at 8 a.m. Again, things are subject to change, but you can check it all out and see all of the latest there. Let's take a look at this one. I believe this says $2.18. Weigel's, $47.50, Middlebrook Pike and Third Creek. This morning at 8 a.m., there was a $2.18 gas price reported. Not a bad idea if you are heading into the downtown area, getting closer to there. Let's find a good one north of town here. Let's see. All right, here's not a bad one. This is Weigel's 6532 on Maynardville Pike and Folly Drive in Knoxville. North side of town, 237 was reported this morning at just about 8 a.m. And let's find one for our friends on the south side of town, South Knoxville. Well, here's not a bad one. This is just north of McGee-Tyson Airport, the Shell 3012 Ocoa Highway near Wrights Ferry Road, 249. This price, though, was reported Thursday at 3 p.m., so things easily could have changed since then. This one's looking pretty good, too. Murphy, USA, 120 Green Road and Chapman Highway, 238 was reported this morning. Let's take a look, though, for any of our friends who maybe are driving out to the mountains toward Virginia, North Carolina, any of those places. This is right where 40 splits off to go to Sevierville. Buc-ee's reporting a 213. I bet that's a pretty popular spot for people traveling that way right now. This is 170 Buc-ee's Boulevard, right off I-40, Sevierville. Not a bad price there if you are taking a trip down to Sevierville, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, any of those places. And we do also want to tell you, across the state, those prices have been holding steady, but we are learning that the cheapest gas in the country right now, on average, can be found in Oklahoma, and that average price is right about $2.33. So again, not a bad idea to be able to hop in here and take a look at what those best prices are near you. We want to give you all the tools to help you plan your holiday drive successfully. So again, you can visit AAA. We have the gas finder for you right here on WATE.com, so you can see all of the latest and how things are shaping up out there as you get ready to go for those holiday travels. And speaking of holidays, mentioned earlier on in the show that a lot of that construction that's happening will be pausing for the holidays, but there are still a few projects that are going on between now and then. We're going to get into a lot of that coming up right after this quick break. Welcome back, everyone. It is time to talk construction projects and what you can expect as we head into this holiday season, people heading out on the road. So, TDOT is planning to suspend all lane closure activity on interstates and state highways, and this will be in place from 11:59 on Tuesday, December 23rd, through 12:01 on Friday, January 2nd, 2026, of course. So throughout the holiday season, TDOT is suspending all of those lane closures on the interstates and state highways. But they do want to get the message out that while there will be no temporary lane closures, daytime or nighttime closures might still be happening, which could impact drivers. You could still see some of that equipment out there in those work zone areas. So you are still urged to be careful and slow down in those work zones. And I actually want to bring in right now one spot that is important for these temporary lane closures. We are looking right at the North Carolina-Tennessee state line. This is 40. We all know how many impacts there have been here since Helene last year and how long this recovery is going to take. So you're going to want to be careful. Patience is key. Keep an eye out for all of the latest and most current conditions there. If you are driving in or near the mountains heading from North Carolina to Tennessee or vice versa, be ready for that in that spot. And another project we want to let you know about, among the many road construction projects that we talk about with Alcoa Highway, you do need to be aware of another one that's going to be going on for quite some time. Workers are setting beams on an overpass, and we do have some video to show you of this. Let me see if I can turn it down here a little bit. There we go. Much better. So these workers are working on putting these beams on the overpass, and it's at the proposed interchange at Tyson Boulevard to State Alcoa Highway at South Singleton Station in Blount County. You can see, getting a lot of those beams up already. And this segment, like we said, it's expected to be going on for a while. Expected to be done in fall of 2027, so still some time there. But if you're seeing this work going on, that's exactly what it is. We're going to bring in some of these other projects for you right now. And this is all from the official TDOT report. So we are letting you know what they're saying. And there are more of these projects as well. You can check out TDOT's website if we aren't talking about something that you specifically are curious about. But first up right now, this is in Blount County. This is Washington Street between East Broadway and Ellis Avenue. So through December 23rd, again, that is that Tuesday when all the construction is going to be stopping. You do need to be alert for possible lane closures. And a lot of these also are happening in those daytime hours. We're talking between 9 and 3 p.m. when a lot of people, if you are still working, as we approach the holidays, you'll probably notice some of these. So again, this will be in place from 9 to 3 p.m. and crews there will be doing some drainage structure replacements. So just be ready to see the workers here in this area. Expect potential delays and use a lot of caution through the area. Be extra careful with those workers out and about. Again, this is in Blount County, Washington Street between East Broadway and Ellis Avenue. On to the next spot now. We are still in Blount County. This is State Route 73. Highway 321 there between Waters Road and Woodland Drive, again, through December 23rd, Tuesday. You do need to be alert for the lane closures, and these ones will be between 8 and 3, so those daytime hours. And even here, this is more of those drainage structure replacements. Workers are going to be there, be ready for possible delays, and you're just going to want to be extra careful as you make your way through. On to our third stop. We are still in Blount County. Right now, this is where Pellissippi Parkway is between Cusick Road and State Route 33. So Pellissippi Parkway is going to be reduced from 2 lanes to 1 through this project, as the construction crews are going to be doing some bridge work in this area. So drivers, be ready for rolling roadblocks. We've heard this term a couple times, especially down in Blount County. So again, Pellissippi Parkway between Cusick Road, State Route 33. These will be in place between 9 a.m. 3 p.m. So those rolling roadblocks will be happening as they do blasting operations. You don't want to be in the way of that, so be ready for it. Drivers, again, be alert for those changing conditions. Workers are going to be out there. And again, we just can't emphasize enough that you need to be careful in and around these construction zones. We're up in Knox County now. This spot is Clinton Highway between West Emory Road and Wade Daniel Way. This one is also through December 23rd. Be alert for possible lane closures between the hours of 9 and 3 as those utility crews are just doing some work. Nothing's too specific, but we know these crews are going to be out there trying to get a lot done. They're cautioning already that there could be slow or even stopped traffic delays. So just be ready for that there on Clinton Highway in Knox County. Let's move right on to our next spot now, also Knox County. This spot is Chapman Highway between East Marlin Mill Pike and Flagship Way. Again, all of this goes through December 23rd. Possible lane closures here as well between about 9 and 3, those daytime hours. So a lot of people going to be heading through there at those times. Crews are going to be doing roadside work in this area. So they'll be off to the sides of the road. You want to be extra careful making your way past them and just be ready for some potential delays there as well. Moving on now into Sevier County. This is State Route 449 between Veterans Boulevard and Dollywood Lane through December 23rd. Be ready. Possible lane closures here as well between about 9 and 3. TDOT says these crews will be doing work activities through this project. So again, you're just going to want to be ready to see some of those guys off to the side there working. And this one's a little bit of a bigger area, staying in Sevier County as well. This is US 321 between Parkway, Dollywood Lane. Same story here. You want to be ready for possible lane closures between 9 and 3. So you just want to be careful for these guys, especially as we approach up into the holiday season. Before we wrap up today, I want to give you one quick look at the current traffic conditions. Feel free to join us on WATE 6 on your side for the 3. Here's one spot for you, 40 at Cedar Bluff Road. It looks like we have an ambulance and TDOT crews, and this is causing some delays heading westbound. So West Knoxville is seeing some slowdowns at this time. Stay tuned in with us on air, and we will have all the latest for you as we are seeing a lot of yellow and red, indicating a busy holiday travel season already well underway. So we are wishing you all safe travels as you make your way out there for the holiday season. Thanks for joining us. Be safe, everyone.